this hour. I hope everyone is having a good week, and I'm the lady at the controls, literally, is Erin Randall. So say hello to everyone, Erin.
Hello, everyone.
She's going to keep you guys on mute, but we're having some technical issues tonight. So if you can, go ahead and mute yourselves. And if you would do us a favor, go ahead and shut down your cameras just so that it might help us with bandwidth connection issues. All right, on Tuesdays, I post the lineup on my Instagram page of all the upcoming presentations, and that's at Cousin Linda. You don't have to follow me, just go look on Tuesdays because that list keeps getting updated. In fact, John Fisher is in the room, so wave, John. His class just got added yesterday. So you can find a little bit more information of the descriptions of the class on my website, which is lindanickel.com. I've also linked our previous meetups to YouTube there as well. So I think there's a few of you that shoot Astro, and that's awesome, but a few of you may be new to Astro. So if you didn't know, there's a new moon this weekend. So you might want to check out Sherry Hunt's session, which was on Milky Way hunting for beginners. So she's on YouTube. Go to that link and grab her video. And today I saw a statistic that the Audubon Society's bird app has seen an uptick in downloads. So more people are actually doing some bird watching in their backyards. So lucky you guys, we did a session with Ruth Hoyt a couple of weeks ago as well. And she did her session on setting up an outdoor studio in the backyard. So take a peek at her video. If you're enjoying these sessions, please share by tagging your friends and please encourage them to join us. My goal here is to help us all connect, inspire, and create. So please, please, please help us get the word out. One of the reasons I love these sessions is to connect with new people. And, we start early and I get to say hello to people like Sherry and Susan and Gidio. These are people I see on Instagram. I may not follow you, but I see your posts because I follow you through other pages. So add your Instagram, your websites, where you're from in the chat line so other people can check out your pages. If you're new to Zoom, at the top right of the screen, you're going to notice that you can select gallery or speaker view. And I'd recommend that you use speaker view because Karen's going to show a presentation. So you're going to want to see her screen in full view. So next week, Mr. David Valdez, who is here tonight. In fact, I think David has been here for every session except for one. He bowed out on the yoga one. But David is a good friend of mine, and he was the chief White House photographer to President George H.W. Bush. He was tasked with documenting President Bush's time as commander-in-chief, and David is going to share some stories behind some of his favorite and most recognized images. And I actually have access to them right now, and he's going to hit those memories for you guys because you're going to remember some of these and go, I didn't realize he took that, or I didn't know who took it. So David's going to be here. I've actually had the pleasure of listening to him speak a couple of times, and the stories he's going to share will give you kind of a behind the scenes peek of American history under the leadership of President Bush. So please be sure to join us. Please tell your friends. This is not just about photography. It's about storytelling. And like I said, these sessions are free. The more people we have, the more fun we can have. So tonight's guest is Karen Riley. And now we're going to have to admit how old we are, Karen, but I've known you for almost 25 years. In October, it's 25 years. I don't know how that happened to us, but she is one of the people in my tribe that I can turn to for advice, leadership, and she's always, always willing to talk me through my next big idea. And over the years, I've had a lot of big ideas. And we won't go into that tonight, but she comes with an art design. Karen has an art design degree. and a head for business. And she decided a couple of months ago to start a family-focused website called homeplate101.com. And there she blogs about homeschooling, art, family-related topics that are the foundation for keeping your home and your heart happy. Karen's done the research, and she is here to help us navigate and kickstart your blogging goals. So Karen, you were here for our second session, and I want to thank you for coming back. You never, ever say no to me. I love that about you. So this week, I personally struggled with keeping my website current. So I'm really particularly interested in listening to your presentation tonight. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you. And thank you so much again for coming and sharing, your time and your advice. So it's yours.
Okay. I am so thankful to have this opportunity to speak. I just wanted to let you guys know that my background is in art and accounting. I actually have 2 separate degrees. So a lot of my accounting skills I applied to my artwork. And one of my strengths at work was to streamline processes, whether it is being more efficient at teaching art projects and documenting them, or whether it was creating financial practices that could be implemented easily. So I started a blog this year, and I just wanted to share with you guys what I've learned. I also want you to know that this endeavor that I started was with my 16-year-old daughter, and she did a tremendous amount of research to find the best way to make money. Because in order to be efficient, I like to learn from other successes, setbacks, and failures. So here, I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quickly, and then we'll get started on the presentation. These were our blog goals. And the main ideas that I'm going to go over today are picking your niche, formatting, making money, promoting your content, and staying organized. And I want to read this quote to you because it was just, it just affected me and the way we approach this blogging endeavor that we're doing. So millions of blog posts are published every day. A small percentage gain traction and attract readers. And among those readers, 55% will read the blog post for 15 seconds or less. Okay, so even though this may sound a little discouraging, I like to know the reality of what I'm up against so that I can work smarter. So my daughter and I found 2 people that we follow that have been extremely successful and have gone before us. And so we're trying to follow their lead. There are tons of people out there, and some of them have conflicting advice. And so if you guys are going to go down this path, I would recommend that you find people that you really like and admire and that are successful, and then you do work their plan. They usually have a plan that you can work. And so that's what we decided to do. We picked 2 and we're following their plan. So the very first thing you need to do is figure out the reason for blogging. Some people like to share their passions and knowledge. Some people like to make a difference. Some people want to practice their writing skills. Some want to make money online. Some want to increase their professional network. Some want to become famous or popular. Some like having a flexible lifestyle that working for themselves would give them. Some people want to advertise or brand a product or a storefront that they already have. And some people just want to connect with like-minded people. Ultimately, though, no matter what your purpose is, you really should want to help people in some way. Otherwise, it will be really hard to be successful. So what are you going to talk about? Okay, in 2019, according to Smart Blogger, these are still profitable niches. And so what you want to do if you would like to make money as a blogger or having your own website is find niches that are still popular and profitable. Because if you pick something that no one or 5 people care about, it's going to be hard to develop a product and have traffic. But what I wanted you to see is photography is definitely still on the list. There's 31 profitable niches still. But there's also things that kind of could apply to photography, like you could delve into art. A lot of you guys are super creative already. You could delve into the blogging side, coupled with your photography. There's filmmaking, even interior design, as far as being able to photograph good design and tell people why it's great. And personal growth is one of the top profitable niches right now. And so just teaching people to be better at photography would fall under personal growth for a lot of people. And then travel. Travel is a great one that obviously you guys do a lot. I know a lot of you guys do. So most people start with a wide variety of topics, but they eventually realize that there is one category that really resonates with people. Not every person, but their people. So that's your goal, is to find your people. And it's okay to start wide and then quickly narrow your focus. What you don't want to do is try to be all things to all people. So once you get a healthy following of people, you want to continue to provide the content that is helpful to them. So getting started, and I will tell you, our story is we did number 3, then number 2, and then number 1. And so what turned out to be supposedly a 20-minute fill out your template and you have your website up and running turned into a 3-day, 8 or 9 hour a day discussion about how to manipulate a website that really did not do exactly what we wanted. So I wanted to save you guys hopefully some heartache there. Okay, so number 1, what I would do is I would find another person that has a similar layout and that does something similar that you want to do and you like the look of their website already. Then what you want to do is you want to look for that template. There are 3 main website builders. There are others out there that are smaller, and I would highly recommend that you do a search on the comparison of the 3 and find out what you want your website to do, and then pick the best one for you. But these are the 3 main: Squarespace, Wix, and WordPress. And so then I would figure out the template that most looks like number 1, the layout that you picked. And that way you can just slide in your photos and your content much more easily. We had to manipulate a whole ton of things, and I had to learn a whole bunch about behind the scenes. And then third thing, I would brainstorm names, and I would ask for input from your family, from your friends, and then I would check and make sure that you can have the domain, the .com, Instagram, and Gmail before you decide on the final name. So I ended up having to manipulate my name a little bit. I loved Homeplay 101, but then homeplay101.com was available, but it wasn't on Instagram. So now on Instagram, it's homeplay_101. And then on my Gmail, it's homeplay.spelledout1.spelledout0.1 spelled out at gmail.com. And so it's a little convoluted, a little bit much on my Gmail. So anyway, I would highly recommend that you find something that works for all 3 that's readily available. Then formatting a post. There is actually a format for a post that you can start with. So you want a catchy title, a short intro, the first main point, a paragraph or 2 with a picture, second main point, paragraph or 2 with the picture, and then you keep repeating that process until the end till you get done with your main points. And then you have a conclusion headline, and then you have a short paragraph summarizing what you've talked about. And then you have a call to action, whether it's share, comment, or subscribe, or whatever you would like your reader to do. So on the other side, under where it says Surefire Composition Tricks, I wanted you to see like a sample. So did you know that experts use these tips all the time to improve their photography? So I just put a simple thing up. You guys a lot of you are way ahead of the rule of thirds and using odd numbers, but I just wanted to put up a simple post to show you guys what the format looks like. And at the very end, I asked them to subscribe for more ideas. So that's what I want, the action that I want them to take. There are some things that you probably ought to know. The title. I've read that you should come up with 20 different titles for your post, and then figure out the one that is going to attract the most readers. Remember, if you can attract them, you got to keep them more than the 15 seconds so that they'll go through your whole post. You can also use Google Search Console to look for keywords that are going to show up that more people are going to search for. So it's called SEO, search engine optimization. And so you want to use words that people are already searching. So I'll give you a quick example. So when I was going to post, I do a lot of artwork because I'm an art teacher now, and so I do a lot of artwork and art posts. And so what I wanted to, I looked up on the Google Search Console to see if easy art project for kids was more, was searched for more, or simple art project for kids, or step by step. And so you can search those things. You can see how many people are looking for that and what your competition is. And so that was super helpful. And then there's a thing called power words. So there are, some people say there's 400, some people say there's 600 plus. But if you do a Google search for power words, you want to put those. So surefire is one of the power words. So that is, a power word is a word that kind of gets people's attention more quickly. And so you want to sprinkle some power words in your title especially, and also probably in your intro, so that you catch people's attention and you keep it so that they'll read through your whole blog. You do want to make sure that your title does indicate what your blog post is about, because I have read some posts where the title was great and catchy, but then I got into the post and I was like, well, this doesn't really have anything to do with what the title was about. So just make sure that's, that you do that. Okay, so here are some of the tips on your actual post. So you want your aesthetic, you want your thing to be aesthetically pleasing. Okay, I love doing different kinds of fonts by hand, but leave them in your bullet journal. Don't put them on your website, because you can really, if people can't read it, remember, they're just going to scroll on by. They're going to pass you up. So beware of weird fonts. Pick a font that is legible. And I know some of this is common sense, but I saw it repeated so often by the people that we follow that I was like, okay, maybe I just need to be reminded. And sometimes I would say, oh, surely somebody would love this cute font. But no, stick and make sure that they can really see it easily. And then not too many ads. Most people will accept ads these days. They know that you're making money on this blog, and they're fine with some ads. Here's a few rules that you probably want to think about when you put an ad on. And this is just a sample. So I was actually looking for how to make those little rabbits that are sitting on her table. But as you can see, she's got this pop down about cookies. She's got an ad behind it. She's got a video ad that started automatically, and she had that Cottonelle ad, which has that little square. And so if most people are looking at this on their phone, it's really hard to just push that tiny little square without the ad coming totally up and covering up the content. So those are some things that you think about when you have advertising on your blog or your website. All right, the next thing that you need to have your photography in focus and interesting. And definitely more than a snapshot if you can. You guys, a lot of you guys take some incredible pictures, and so make sure that it's your best stuff up there. Also, that it makes a huge difference. You can tell a beginner from a person who has some great photography and has a nice website, and it's not overrun with ads, and it just makes viewing it, it makes people more likely to come back. And if you're not a great photographer, if you're just interested in the writing part, definitely collaborate with a local photographer, and you guys can share each other's content, and maybe you get that widens your spectrum of people who are seeing your stuff, so you get more publicity that way. All right, so to make money. So I'll break it down. There are other ways to make money, but these are the main ways. So you can make a little money by advertising. With Google AdSense, what you do is you get paid per click. So y'all have all seen those Google AdSense, and so what they do, the person actually has to click on it in order for you to get paid if it's on your website. Okay, then there is cost per million or cost per 1,000 impressions. And so those are, if you just get enough volume to your website and they see the ad, then you get paid a little bit. And then if you get enough people or you collaborate, so let's say I have an art website and I collaborate with an art store in town, I can say, hey, would you pay a flat fee to have your ad run on my content for a month? And so that's another way. So that is another way to make money with advertising. And a lot of people do each of these things. They do advertising, affiliate marketing, and their own product until they become really successful, and then they drop the advertising off. So, but it's not uncommon for people to be doing all of these things when they're starting out. So the next thing is affiliate marketing. It's you're going to make a little bit more. And so with affiliate marketing, Amazon is the, excuse me, one of the quickest ways to get into the affiliate marketing business. And basically, Amazon will pay you somewhere between 1% to 5% of a product that you have put on your website, and the person, if they order by pressing through your website to go to Amazon, if they order it, you will get 1% to 5% of that product. An Amazon affiliate program is pretty easy. You just sign up and they'll let you do it. There are other affiliate marketing programs that pay considerably more, upwards of 25, sometimes 50%, depending upon what kind of item that they are selling. Those you have to prove that you have a decent subscriber base, and you probably want to go after affiliate marketing companies that they want to see your website and see if it caters to their products. So that's why there are tons of them, and it just depends on what kind of product or what you're blogging about or what you're talking about on your website, and they try to match you as best they can with products that people would want from that. But it does pay a little bit more, but that's a little bit after you've proved yourself. The last one is where you're going to get the most money, and so think recurring income. So you have your own product. This is the idea that you have your own product, and it can be as simple as offering to sell your photos on your website. It could be you have figured out an organization system or an app that helps photographers, that you offer a workshop in person or online, or that you offer text tutorials like a cheat sheet for beginners that they could either have on their phone or they could print out and take with them. And so here's an example on the right-hand side of a product that I put together. It's watercolor leaves. It's a little tutorial. You could teach it in an art class for probably middle schoolers and high schools, or if you're just a person who wants to learn to watercolor better, it's a very simple, straightforward kind of process. And I sold this on a teacher website because I don't have enough traffic yet on my own website to sell it. And so just to give you an idea, I got 25% of what I sold this for. And so that just gives you an idea. The advantage of being on the teacher side is I get a lot more volume of people searching, and the possibility of them finding my little tutorials is greater right now. But in the long run, it's going to be better for me to have these little tutorials on my actual website so that I can sell them, and then I get to keep 100% of what I sell them for. Also, you probably want to think one of your biggest things is to get subscribers, so the people that are coming link to your website, so that when you update your blogs that they always get a copy of your latest blog. And so you want to collect subscribers, and a lot of people offer this great ebook or some sort of giveaway that allows you to basically trade emails with them, so that you get this email subscription. And this is where you probably create a lot more value for yourself. Okay, so now you've got your site up and running. You've got your blog post. You start promoting your content. I would get at least 10 to 12 posts up before you do some hardcore promoting. But these are all the different ways to promote your content. And I'll talk a little bit. Most of you guys know about Instagram. It's a picture, quick video, and a short intro, and you lead your people back to your website. Okay, Facebook, what I've found and what I've read about Facebook, so it's true, that it really is just a lot of family and friends, and you don't get a ton of business from Facebook. That has proved true for me so far. But it is still great for people to know what you're doing, just in case they know other people. So I would still promote my stuff on Facebook, but just know that you won't get a ton of business usually. Okay, Pinterest. If you guys are doing some sort of photography site or anything that is highly visual, Pinterest is really where you want to promote yourself quite a bit, because it has become a visual search engine. That's just what Pinterest is now. And so I'll just tell you right now, successful people on Pinterest post 15 to 20 times a day, and they have excellent visual content. So, and you don't just want people to repin you. You need people to come to your website and hear what you have to say. Pinterest also, a lot of people say that the best colors to attract people to your actual pin is to use warm colors like red and orange and yellow. That is probably absolutely true. It just was not my it was just not my thing, and so I really wanted the cool colors. And so you can see that throughout my presentation, I used those pencils that are, you know, greens and blues, and that has become my like photo logo. And so what you want to do is you want to stick, no matter what color scheme you pick, that you stick with a similar color scheme so that people start to recognize your pins. And then you really want to have a great shot and a great title. So here's where it comes back to that great title. So you have a great shot and a great title. I will tell you that the tiny short videos on Pinterest are starting to get a little bit more attention than the stills, but a great still with a great title will still get plenty of attention. Then YouTube is just another way for your videos to complement your written content. You can actually have a quick video on your website. You guys know this. And you can cross-link. So you can send people to YouTube to see the whole thing, the whole video, or you can have your YouTube set up to send them back to your website. Medium is a writing content program that you can actually submit your writing to them, and they will post. And if anybody starts to read it's kind of like a huge newspaper. Everybody just writes in and they write their own commentary. And if people start to read you, you can get paid for writing. So a lot of people recommend starting on Medium with their writing and to get to some practice. And you don't lose your rights, which is kind of nice that you don't lose your rights when you post on Medium. Canva is something that we use to put text and create our designs for Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. And they have templates already set up, and you can change the colors. And so far we've been able to use the free version, but they definitely have a pro version that you can pay for, and you can get a bunch of upgrades. Tailwind is one of, it's a Pinterest and Instagram scheduler and analytics tool. And so Tailwind is to help you if you get a lot of content and you want to load it up and you want to find the prime time, and maybe you're working at your regular job and you want to make sure that Tailwind post your Instagram or your Facebook post or your Pinterest post at the prime time for people to view them. So that's a scheduler that we haven't used a ton, but we're just about to start using. And Patreon is a system that's set up to get monthly subscribers for your content. So for example, I could promise to post 4 new painting videos on Patreon, and I would set up a monthly subscription. And so people would pay a monthly subscription, and I would basically make sure that I had 4 new videos for them to watch over the month. So those are some options for cross-promoting your content to get people back to your website. Now, here is the not so fun part, but it's so important, and Jim touched on this last week, staying organized. And so here is where the accounting background in me comes out. I track all our expenses, travel, supplies, books, online courses, everything that we spend getting the blog up and running. I have a spreadsheet to record when and what I post to the blog, to Instagram, to Facebook, to Pinterest, and to the teacher website that I'm a part of. I number each post to keep track of all the pictures and the content associated with that post. And I make sure that it's saved in my Google Drive so that if I ever have to go back and repost something or look it up, it also keeps things very organized. So it's not all jumbled by the title. I just like it in number order. I also save my formatted pages. So like you saw that little watercolor page that I did, all of my little tutorials look like that. And so I just put in my new tutorial, whatever I'm doing. One time I painted flowers, and so I've just stuck all the content into that format so they look similar and people start to hopefully recognize my content. I also keep copies of my Instagram lines and my tags, and I keep a copy of that logo picture that you see, that pencil up top, in case I need to use it for something. We also have a list of all our brainstorm topic ideas, and we add to it regularly. So every time I hear of a good idea or think of a good idea, we add it to the list. And so then we can just keep scrolling through good ideas. We also do set a time every couple of weeks to sit down and brainstorm, me and my daughter, so that we can continue to have new content developing. And then we keep a list of search engine optimization words for our topics in our power words. And so we actually will look and see what is the best title. We just look and see, what are people searching for? What do they want to see? And then the budget. Okay. I know some people don't even want to think about how much they spend, but this is just what I do. And so this is what I do. Our website, you can get a website for free, but I don't know of a website that you can have the option to monetize if you get it for free. So most of the websites, I mean, you can go up into the thousands if you want to have someone actually make it for you and do all your content for you. But on the average, or a normal person would spend about $300 a year on a website. Learning resources. I have realized that, oh my goodness, people offer these great deals to learn how to be so successful, be the top 1% of bloggers and get all these great ideas. And there's a formula to do this. And so there's a lot of hype, but those classes can be really expensive. There are books, there are online courses, there are even blog conferences. So just know that can get to be thousands of dollars. Then your setup, you need a camera. It is tempting to get more gear or to upgrade your lenses, or there's just all kinds of things out there that are fun to have. Just keep your budget in mind. Like if you've got budget and you're making money, feel free, to upgrade and plan new things and buy new things. But definitely if you don't, it's so tempting to just keep buying stuff. So the ongoing cost, so you could have ring lights and backdrops and light boxes and travel, microphone, headset, apps, and even editing software. So I just know that I have planned what I'm willing to spend each month, and then what I'm willing to spend each year. And then I also did based on the income. So as we increase in income, I know how much more we can spend on different items that we need to do. And so I've actually planned to hopefully take one of the online blogging classes just to see if there are any holes in our plan. But it's going to be in a couple months when we're doing a little bit better. So I wanted to leave you with this quote. It's not necessarily about how many people you reach. It's how many you connect with. Because when people connect with us, they remember us, they come back for more, they trust what we have to say, and they may eventually buy from us. So the best advice I think I received was to just get started and see what happens, and add a little bit of yourself into each post that you write so that you can connect with others. And I have to say, this has been some hard work, but it has been the most exciting thing I've done in a long time. And also I have learned so many new things that has really stretched me. So I hope you guys join me in this adventure, and feel free if you think of questions to just let me know.
Okay, so the question is, who's Ash Reed? Who was
Ash
that?
Reed, he's just a guy that I really liked what he had to say, because it really resonated with me. So I really liked him.
Yeah. So Deborah asked, and I think you answered it right after she asked it. If you use a free website, you can't monetize that. Is that kind of a general rule? Or
That is what I have found. You can always, I can't say always. You usually can upgrade if you decide you want to monetize it down the road. You can usually upgrade and you just pay more.
Yeah. So she says, this is Deborah's same question. So like if you use a free WordPress with their domain versus owning your own domain, is that how does?
Yes. So you can, I got into that and totally didn't understand how all that worked, but yes, you can own your own domain through a different domain place. And I just decided to go through WordPress because it seemed more simple to me.
Okay. So I don't see any questions here, guys. So I want to say, if you have questions, take advantage of the speakers, because Karen's done all the research, and she may know the answer. So Egidio is saying you can use WordPress in your own domain hosted outside of WordPress. Does that sound about right?
That is, yeah, that's what I found. I just didn't do it, so I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, because it's, I struggle with keeping up my blog because I'm not a good writer. Don't like it. It's not enjoyable to me. I posted about this yesterday on Instagram. How can I make this easier for me? What can I do as a lazy person that wants to, I don't mind adding photos, but how can I get motivated? What tricks or suggestions that you'd have for me to, like, Linda, you got to do this? What's my incentive?
The more active, I'll tell you, your incentive is the more active you are, the more likely you're to collect readers. And so that's just the nature of the business. But there are quite a few people out there that I've found that actually have kind of a template. And so they ask questions. Erin would love it. They ask questions and you basically reply to the questions. It's almost like not fill in the blank, but it's very controlled in the formatting. And so it does make it easier to post more often if you have a shorter format and you are just answering these questions. Oh yeah, I know about this. And so you just keep typing.
Yeah. So David Valdez wants to know, do you post every day?
I do not post every day, because mostly what I post is those art worksheets, and it takes me a couple days to put those together and photograph them and put them in the kind of format that I like. And so I don't. I would love to. I have 3 children. They would like to eat sometimes.
You guys, I've known Karen forever, and she's one of the busiest people I know. And somehow she has 3 children and a husband that don't miss a meal. So I don't know how she manages it. I'm just like, it's just me over here, and I barely get through the day. So let's see. I think that's Jason answering another question. So Elaine Wilson wants to know, do you use Twitter?
I do not. Because mine is highly visual, you definitely could, if you were gonna talk about something. I'm trying to think. The difference for me is I use a lot of visuals, and so I want to focus more on Pinterest. But you definitely could put it on Twitter, especially if you already have a following there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so I'm looking for questions here. Anybody else? Throw them out here. So I would say, just kind of glancing at the people here tonight, most of us are photographers. So, you know, Instagram is our big thing.
Yeah.
Something you said piqued my interest was I loved Pinterest when I first got on it. I was the pinning queen. I have all kinds of. It's a beautiful pin page, but how can I use that as a photographer? Am I too late to start on that?
I don't think so. It does take some volume. And so that's where, like we would use Canva, and we would basically, they pin, most people that are really successful, they take something like Canva, they take, let's just say, whatever post they're coming up with, and they do 15 to 20 different but similar looking posts pins for that particular post. And then they put them out there on Pinterest, and they roll them probably all day long. So they basically put them out, at the peak times so that they can grab more attention. There is a ton of stuff out there on Pinterest right now. It's not like it was, say, 5 years ago, but it's still doable. They're definitely still doable. You just have to up your volume as far as the pins you're creating, even for one post.
So David Wilson is saying, do you recommend Pinterest? And I think the answer is yes.
I mean, I do. For anything visual, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So Egidio is asking, do you search for power words on Google Console and SEO?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So, okay, I'll just ask power words. Where do you start?
You actually just type in power words for blogging or websites, and there were 3 or 4 that came up. The lady that's got the top post has 400 plus, and she literally just lists them right in her post. And so we just copied them down.
So are they like tags? I'm not real sure.
No, they're not tags. They're words that you would use in your title, or like, so instead of just saying, I had a great day, you would say, I had an amazing day, or I had a stupendous day. They're actually just mostly adjectives that you would use, but they call them power words because basically I think the search engines really like them, or people really like them, and they make it seem more interesting than just, I had a great day.
Okay. So David Wilson is asking, is there a fee for using Tailwind? Is it similar to Hootsuite Scheduler? Wow.
Okay, it may be similar. So far, we are in the free version of Tailwind. It's just like anything. They kind of suck you in a little bit, give you a little bit, and then you realize, wait a minute, it's not doing everything I want it to do for extra X amount of dollars. So we're still using the free version of Tailwind, but it might be the same as Hootsuite. I don't know. It is a scheduler. It just pins them. So you put them in, and they put them at the times you want.
So of all the apps that you're using, which one would you say you couldn't live without?
Wow. Of all the ones I'm using, I would have to say Pinterest for me. Definitely.
What about, I was thinking along the lines of apps that help you do whatever you need to do on your website and for Pinterest. Like
the Canva is the one that I love, as far as, because my daughter actually does, she takes the photos that I send her, and she takes the title, and then she puts them together and makes, a nice pin in Canva. So that would be the one that I would definitely use. I'm sure there's other things like that out there. It just happened to land on that one, and I really like the way it works.
So Egidia it might be a statement here. If you use WordPress on your site, you can schedule when to post your entry.
You're right.
To go live instantly.
Yeah.
Or you can. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody? Okay. So here's the deal. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Elaine. Elaine Pruden. You know Elaine. And Elaine, if I've known Karen 25 years, that means I've known you 25 years. She wants to know, are you using Pinterest because that's your target market? Example for moms, women, etc.
Yes and no. Usually, you'd be surprised how many men use Pinterest, but I'm using Pinterest.
It was invented by men.
What?
It was
Yeah, it was
created
started
by
by
me.
me. Yeah. But I mostly use Pinterest because it's so visual, and that's usually my content is really visual. So, because I do a ton of art projects.
Okay. So let me I'm going to say this. The people that come and speak to us, they are so amazing and so generous with their time. And if you get off of this call and go, darn it, I wish I'd asked this, or it comes to you like 2 days from now, message Karen through homeplate101.com. And by the way, where did you get that really cool name for your website, Karen?
Yes, so one of my great friends, Linda Nickel, was the one who gave me that idea. It was awesome.
I'm telling you, I do have great ideas. So message her. And Karen is like everybody that does presentations. We just want to be helpful, and we just want to build a community of people that know how to do stuff, and more importantly, people that are willing to help other people get started. And I'm volunteering you, Karen, because I know you'll do it. And it's the same thing with Erin Randall. She does coactive coaching. John Fisher is he's a stud with Photoshop. So who else is on here? Valerie Hoffman. God, any questions about lenses or photography, or how to say no to Linda when she wants to go on a trip? That's a good start. I'm trying to see who else is on here, but take advantage. And let's say you don't know David Wilson, but David Wilson is, I believe, in Wimberley. So maybe you want to go to Wimberley. Shoot messages to people and just say, hey, I'm heading your way. Is there anything that you could tell me to get me some great locations? Take advantage, because that's what my happiness hour is connecting people. And yes, I love Instagram, and yes, I love photography, but I love people more. And this is kind of my circle of people. So thank you guys for joining us. Next week, David Valdez. Turn on your camera, Mr. Valdez. Are you there? Okay, so he is waving at you, and he is going to do his presentation next Wednesday. So it's not necessarily about photography, it's about history, American history. And I will tell you this, Mr. Valdez does not talk politics, and I love that. It's about photographs, and it's about the people and the time, and it's a very special, rare opportunity for a lot of us to get to listen to somebody that was there. And I can harass them on emails and texts all the time. So I'm thrilled that you're going to come do that for me. So, or us. It's really for me, but I'll say us. Karen Riley, I love you and I appreciate you, and I have questions about Pinterest now, so because I'm not busy enough. So, Julie Chapa, thank you guys for coming. Susan, Sherry with Hummerflies. You guys, I think Sherry is down in the coast I see a lot of her Padre Island pictures. I don't want to say she's a birder, but she chases birds and sunrises and sunsets. So check her out. I love me some Pluto 911. I think he just left. Oh, there he is. He's one of my shooting buddies, and I haven't shot with him in a while. So this COVID thing sucks. So anyway, you guys, please be careful. Be safe. It's hard for me to keep my followers, so I need all of you to stick around. So, all right, I'll see y'all next week. All right,
Thank you.
Yeah, so the usuals, if you